Just move this out of the way. Oh, it says live. Shit, and I'm fucking up with my laptop now.
No worries.
No,
No
it's
worries.
live.
Yeah, I think there's like a 40-second delay or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by the way, I'm sure you already know this, but I would pause if you're watching the comments, I would pause the video on the screen itself.
Yeah, I already did that, yeah.
Alright, good on you. How's my makeup?
It's, you look good, Charlie. You look good.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
For the evening, you look good. So yeah, we're live. We are live. So,
Yep, we are now live. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the stream as always. Tonight, as you can see, we have a guest. This is Jake Nalton. If you don't know who Jake is a Jvlogger who's been doing it. How long have you been doing it now for, Jake?
Just over 2 years, I guess. Just over 2 years, yeah.
Nice. And you recently, right? You passed what, 1,000 subscribers not that long ago, but I think you have quite a few more now.
I think I've passed 1,000 just after the new year started, and now I'm on 1,100 and something. So yeah, it's doing all right.
Nice, well, awesome.
Considering I put zero effort into my videos, it's not too bad.
Well, you take the time, so that's got to count for something.
Little time is still time, I guess. Very little time.
Indeed. But yeah, so if you guys aren't subscribed to Jake's channel already, you can find the link down in the info section below the video, and you should probably go and do that like right now. I mean, obviously don't close the stream, but soon afterwards, anyway.
Please.
So as you can see, the topics for tonight. First, we're going to talk about like how to get fit, lose weight while you're in Japan, and then we're going to move on and talk about studying and taking the JLPT. And Jake is actually, I feel like, the perfect guest to talk about both, because Jake.
Referred to as a perfect guest for something, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's good, right? I gotta flatter the guest at least a little bit. And yeah, I mean, Jake has gone through like a really huge change. It could just physically, if you've followed his channel at all, I mean, you could just sort of see he's made a really huge life change. So,
Sure.
And then also you just passed the JLPT. I think I saw this morning, right?
Yeah, I got the results this morning. Passed JLPT N4, which is still beginners, but I mean, it's still good. Still good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, nothing to complain about for sure. So Jake, if you could tell us, like, I mean, give us as much detail as you feel like giving about where you started, as far as like your health goes and where you are now and everything, you know?
Yeah.
If you could just give it
when growing up, like, I always loved food. Like, not even the taste of food, I just loved the sensation of eating, which sounds ridiculous, but like if we had like bags of chips in the house, crisps, if you're in the UK, I guess, I would just eat all of them. Not even because I was hungry, I just like enjoyed eating. And by the time I was 18 years old, I weighed 150 kg, which is like 25 stone, like 350 pounds.
right. Yeah.
For an 18-year-old is a lot. And I wasn't getting any healthier in university. I was drinking a lot. I was eating a lot, and I was not just eating a lot. I was eating like shit.
Right.
And what ended up like had many starts and fails of losing weight. Which, if you're trying to lose weight, if you fail, don't let that be the end, because you do fail a lot. But the reason I ended up losing weight was my major was chemistry, biochemistry.
Oh.
And I was just sat in the lab one day, just listening to the tutor, and then I felt like a weird sensation. Like, I just felt like my chest stopped. Like, I wasn't in any pain. It just felt like it stopped, and then like I felt the urge to cough. So I coughed, and then it felt like a bubble popped inside me. Like, it felt like it started again. And I was like, oh, that was fucking weird. And then it happened again like 5 minutes later. And I thought, and then I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I never got it checked out, but because it was my chest, and obviously your heart is in your chest, something that's something is affected greatly by fat and stuff like that, and blood pressure. And I thought, well, if this is weight related, this is. At the time, I think I just turned 21. So if I was 21 and I was feeling like this, I was going down a very, very horrible path. So started going to the gym. I ended up. What do you call? It's called a cross trainer in the UK. I think maybe it's an elliptical.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I started using that for like an hour a day. I joined the badminton team. One thing I've still never been able to fix is my eating habits, not properly anyway. Because I'd end up going to the gym, and then there'd be a chocolate bar on sale, like big chocolate bars on sale, and I'd end up buying it and eating it.
Right.
I started doing a lot of exercise, started walking everywhere. And before I came to Japan, so maybe in like a year and a bit, I lost about 30 kg, so about 75 pounds, just through exercise. And then when I came to Japan, I started slowly going up again, because a new country, all these new foods, the beer is so cheap.
Right.
And I started going up again, and then I decided to just start running. Because my mum runs like a marathon every weekend. Over the weekend, she runs
crazy.
15 miles one day, 9 miles the other day.
Right.
So I was just like, maybe I'll give running a try. Bought a 2,000 yen pair of running shoes on Amazon. And if you live in Japan, Amazon cash on delivery is like the best thing in the world.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but that is fantastic to know.
Yeah. It costs a little extra, but you pay like 400 yen more, and you pay when it arrives, which is awesome. But yeah, started running, ended up doing like 1 mile at a time, and you just kind of get addicted to it.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said about runner's high, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live. The one good thing about Japan is that the scenery is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And there are rivers everywhere, so I just run along the river, run like 4 miles a day, I guess. And as people know, I'm also a dancer. About 6 months ago, I joined the gym, and they had a J-pop dance class. And I was too embarrassed to join at first until I saw just a line of old men and women for the J-pop dance class. So I thought, oh, I'll give this a go. And now I do about 4 dance classes a week. And last week I actually taught a dance class in a high school, which is pretty weird. So yeah, because I was so big and I had a bit of a scare, I guess. Everyone's got something that turns them on to losing weight, I guess.
Right.
Like my uncle was probably a bit bigger than 150 kg, and he actually had a stroke, which was weight related, and then that caused him to lose weight. So yeah, I guess sometimes a big kick in the balls is something you need to lose the weight. But yeah, if you can, once you start, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I guess feeling like your heart stopped twice, or a bubble, whatever it was, when you're that young is probably pretty terrifying, you know?
Yeah, and one thing, like, I've seen people post, like, do you know the Andy-san? The Andy-san, people might know him in the in the chat. He's in the Navy, and he lives in Yokosuka. He's lived in Japan for a few years, and he always talks about losing weight. But for some people who aren't, if you're not that big and you want to lose weight, it's hard because maybe you don't really have the motivation to do it. You don't have goals so much.
Right.
Like now, my goal was to not die. That sounds. My goal was to not be dead by the end of the year.
Right.
But once you start to lose weight, you kind of see these goals. My first goal was to lose like 30 kg, which I did before I came to Japan. And now my goal is to get to 95 kg, which is still huge by most people's standards. But
yeah,
I don't feel fat.
It's a person, you know.
Yeah. It's all about building muscles. But now, when you lose weight, you kind of feel more paranoid. Because like now, I've lost weight, but because I was so big, like if I like do this, like I've got a bit of like flab like skin here.
Right. Yeah.
I get really paranoid about this and like skin, but I can't let the skin put me off doing anything because I don't know. I'm kind of going on for a long while here, but
No, it's fine. I mean, that's what was asked for, man. You're doing a good job.
one thing I always one pet peeve about people losing weight, I guess, is that sometimes people always try and give excuses before they've even started.
Right.
Like some people say, oh, I weigh like 100 kilos, but I've got a lot of muscle. Like they'll say, oh, I've probably got really big leg muscles or something like that. And I think like Mully is a great guy. Mully's a really great guy. But like he was saying, like he's really fat, but he bets a lot of that's muscle. Whereas, like if I started to say now, like I want to lose more weight, but a lot of it's muscle, that's already trying to lower my goal for myself about what I need to do. If you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, you're constantly moving the goalpost, right?
Yeah.
And in a way that sort of de-incentivizes you. So.
Yeah. And like when some people say like they have a thyroid problem or slow metabolism, those things may be true, but the minute you start trying to excuse the weight, is like when you like if you think like this weight is all down to me, I'm going to exercise my ass off until I lose it, then that's better than saying I've got a thyroid problem, so it's going to be a bit harder and stuff like that. Like I'm just trying to forget any other outside circumstance, try and lose.
Right. I think if we can pull a page from Victor here, I mean Victor's made a lot of videos about different peoples of different backgrounds coming over here. I mean pretty much his point is stop making excuses for yourself and do it and recognize that it's going to be hard and it's going to suck at some point, but I mean what other way is there to do it, you know?
Yeah, it's like everybody in the world's different. Like if we're all the same, then that'd be pretty boring, I guess. But like we've all
Yeah.
If I had a really slow metabolism, that should just mean I've got to do extra to fight it, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just not thinking about anything. I'm just doing the exercise, trying to eat healthy, even though that's pretty impossible.
Yeah. I mean it is. I mean you said it before, coming into a new place when there's all these delicious things, and there's a ramen shop on my walk home, man. I'm telling you, it's like
ramen is a killer. Ramen.
Yeah.
I don't eat ramen anymore. I just don't eat ramen.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
I have takoyaki, which is probably just as bad.
Takoyaki. Yeah.
Ramen. I usually eat out as a treat, or if I'm with friends. But again, if I eat out, I will overeat. It's just something that I can't quite fight, which is like today I went to the gym for 2 hours. I did a J-pop dance class and I went running, and then I ate some chocolate when I got home, and I was like, oh fuck, now I've got to start doing exercise again.
Right.
So I guess I can eat more because I've got used to the idea that I can exercise freely now. Like some people find it difficult to start moving, but like you probably when you first started running, you probably found it super difficult. But now it's easier to get the start going. You know, if you go for a run, you know how long it's going to take and how long it takes to get home and what your pace is and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I was really into running when I, late high school and through college, and then it just stopped. And so I guess I forgot. I forgot about that part. So I was like, oh, this is supposed to be easy, remembering how easy it was before. And I mean, I was making definite excuses like, oh, this is gonna this is gonna be too long. It's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna be able to work and all this other bullshit. But yeah, and I think over here too, and maybe you found this to be the case too, but because you walk so much in addition to like your morning run or whatever, I think running becomes easier faster.
I think one thing I'm used to getting. I live in quite a mountainy area, so getting used to going up hills is something that's definitely helped. Walking up hills or stuff like that. Like what? Yeah, walking a lot is definitely. Did you buy? You're not to sound offensive, but you're quite small, aren't you? In
I'm
terms,
f- no, yeah, sorry.
in terms of height.
Yeah, I'm 5. I'm like 5'8".
Ah, so that's only a bit. What size feet are you?
5'8". I think US is like US 9 maybe. 8
Yeah,
and a half, 9, something like that. So
yeah, because I can't buy decent shoes here. Because well, I can, but I have to pay a lot for them because I'm US 11.
so that's pretty damn big feet.
Yeah, so like yesterday I went to Odaiba and I put up a picture on Twitter. Like I went to the Timberland shop because I love like you'll have the same Genkan as me, but I've got 16 pairs of shoes, and
What?
finding shoes is so difficult, but especially running shoes. Like I went to the Nike shop in Tokyo and I was like, oh, I want to buy these, but they just don't have any in my size. But yeah.
16. I mean, so are they different pairs, or do you just stock up at once so you don't have to worry about it when you're out of them?
Oh, they're all different shapes, colors. Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, it seems you have a flair for style too. I seem to remember what were they? Purple pants or bright orange or red pants or something. I'm trying to remember. I'm
I've got,
trying to remember.
I've got a pair of purple pants, light blue, dark blue, black, grey. I almost bought some green ones yesterday, but they didn't have any in my size again. Because I don't know, I think since I came to Japan, I've become like, and that's another thing about losing weight. Like, when you start to look at yourself and feel better about yourself, I kind of want to like, not look better, but because when I was a lot younger, I used to only wear black. I used to wear black jeans, black t-shirt, black socks, black boxers, black shoes. Everything I wore was black. And
Right.
now, like, I think I put up on, I said on Twitter, like, my 18-year-old self would kill me for buying Timberlands. Like, I have a pair of white Timberlands and stuff like that. Because, like, now I'm buying all these different colors.
Right. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, you're feeling good.
It's a lot of fun as well. Shopping, I never appreciated shopping until I came here. I used to
Yeah.
hate the mall and stuff in the UK, but now it's really fun.
I think there's a different experience over here shopping. I feel like maybe the energy of it and the atmosphere oftentimes, like I'm thinking of Osukanon in particular in Nagoya, for example.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like where I don't know about you, but when I would go shopping in malls back in the States, I mean, it's pretty much like you go and it's a terrible, like, dragged on process of trying to find the right clothes. But here it's like it's an eating and drinking and shopping sort of like
Yeah.
extravaganza, right? So definitely a lot more fun, I feel like.
Yeah, like the malls here of like arcades and like game centers and stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah.
and like when I went shopping in Odaiba yesterday, they had the big Gundam and stuff like that. So it's like take a break from shopping. Come look at this Gundam.
I saw that. I was pretty jealous of the Gundam because I definitely want to get there.
Yeah, it's
Did you
pretty.
go in like the attached Gundam store or whatever?
Uh, I, I've,
Genius.
I've never actually watched Gundam before.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I do know that in Tokyo there is a Gundam cafe, which is like a maid cafe because it's next to the AKB cafe.
Oh, well, yeah, actually, on the topic of AKB,
Oh,
one of my friends and like probably like the channel's biggest fan, Sean Bro, who's in the comments, he's telling me how he really wants to talk to you because he is like an AKB fanatic, man. I think you guys would get along pretty well.
yeah, I do really. I don't watch them so much anymore because I don't know. I find myself just liking so much now. Like there's so much J-pop. Like I've really got into Exile and E-Girls and Seikai no Owari. Like I'm exposed to more stuff. But I do
Right.
love karaoke.
At karaoke too. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. And
Uh,
I always sing it to my kids and everything.
I I don't know, man. I've never been able quite to wrap my head around like around the whole idol scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't compute. That said, like their songs are so incredibly catchy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And one thing that Japan does really well about promoting its like artists and stuff is, and it's a reason Yokai Watch is so popular, is because it's everywhere.
Right.
You can't get away from it. You go to a supermarket and there is probably like 50 different products that are Yokai Watch. The Yokai
Right.
Watch playing that yodel, whatever. That
Right.
song playing on the speakers. There's Yokai Watch pencils. There's Yokai Watch sweets. There's Yokai Watch branded bananas. It's just
Curry, bread, everything. Yeah.
and it's the same with music. There's so many commercials on TV with the music on, like the dramas, like with like say with like maybe American dramas always use popular music, but UK dramas always just have a jingle, like the
Right.
but like Japanese dramas always use music from groups. The group's music's on TV all the time. The songs are playing in the supermarket. It's just everywhere. You just can't get away from it ever, which is good because it gets people. You don't like, even if you don't play games, everybody knows what Yokai Watch is.
Right. No, and that's true. And I think one of my favorite groups actually. The only reason I found out about them is because I caught them like the drama, you know, and it would play every week, like
Uh,
at a certain point of the episode or whatever. And yeah, I mean that's why like the idol groups and I guess music in general, they're really plugged into the dramas, like you said, but also anime, of course.
and
There's
and
always like a good group or a known group doing an opening.
and actually, the dramas that have people from idol groups are actually some of my favorite dramas. Like, there's a drama called GTO, which is Great Teacher on Instagram,
Yeah,
and that is if you've ever seen it, that's a really good drama, a really fun drama. And
yeah, I'm a fan.
the main character from that is from Exile. Uh, and I watched a drama called Bad Boys Z, which is like groups fighting for the top of the Hiroshima rank, and the main character from that is from a drama from an idol group called Sexy Zone. AKB have their own dramas. It's just everywhere.
It's I don't like I don't understand though how AKB. Okay, so there's AKB, right, and then there's what there's five other teams or something. I don't know. But again, Sean Bro was telling me about this, and I forgot, and I just it seems like such an enterprise like that's so foreign to me. It's like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they have well like AKB, SKE, HKT all have their own groups within the groups, and then they play different days, and they're just everywhere all the time.
Right, and sometimes there's like a lottery or like a shuffle or something where they might get pushed to other teams or switched around or something.
Yeah, I believe there's another shuffle happening in a couple of months, maybe. But I always hate the kind of stuff where it gets shuffled off back to back. One thing that pisses me off about AKB is all the major announcements happens at big events, which makes sense, but the announcements are always stuff like we're changing the teams or somebody's leaving the group.
Right.
Like not last year, the year before, AKB have their big elections every year, where like loads of people vote for their who they want to be top, and Shinoda Mariko came like fourth, which means like a lot of fucking people voted for her. And then she was like, yeah, oh thank you, oh yeah, I'm graduating soon. And then there was like, so many people voted for you to be the top, and then you're just like, oh yeah, I'm leaving soon, cool. So that kind of stuff pisses me off, but.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is it in the cards for you? Do you want to go and like see one of their live shows at some point?
Oh yeah, for death. Like I really want to go, but it has to be because I've not listened to them as closely recently. I don't quite know some of the newer people. Like I've watched the elections and I watched the new drama that came out, which is really good. Majiska Gakuen. It's like the AKB girls are all in a Yankee high school and they're all fighting each other, which is really cool. So I know the main people. So if I did go, I'd have to go to see the main people that I actually know. I don't want to go and see a load of people that I don't know because then
Right, yeah. Defeats the point, I guess. I don't know. At some point, I'm probably gonna break and just start following more idol groups, I guess, because you, like you said, you just can't get away from it. Eventually,
Yeah,
it'd be some sort of subconscious brain control.
really interesting. What I like is that, like, I listen to like, I did an e-girl song in my J-pop dance class, and then I watched the music videos, and then I was watching TV, and the CM came on, and it was like some of the members from e-girls. I was like, oh yeah, I know them. I saw them on a YouTube video, and that was just like kind of interesting, just like seeing them in different places.
Now, you said you're taking the J-pop dance class at your gym.
Yeah.
Ah,
And
I
then
wonder. I'm so curious.
it's a lot of fun. I did one today. Like, it's just the ones I do at the gym aren't like, you're not gonna become like an idol by doing these groups. It's kind of like aerobic and dance, but
Sure.
it kind of lays for me. You do the basic moves of a dance, and then I go home, and then where's my iPod? I go home and then I practice the actual dance. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. I don't even. Oh, 1 minute. There's a guy I watch on YouTube called Ginza Blow, and he makes actual like dance tutorials, and I just follow them. And since I'm kind of a dance teacher now, because I actually did a dance lesson for a high school, I kind of have to know my stuff. And speaking of AKB, like, they have their own variety show, which is a really good variety show called AK Bingo.
And when is that on?
It's on Tuesdays or Wednesdays at midnight. But if you go on Daily Motion, there's like 200 episodes on there, all sub.
Okay, sweet. Can you do me a favor and put this guy's this channel into the comments?
Yeah, sure.
Ginza below or whatever, just in case people are interested.
I just clicked on YouTube then, thinking I was watching a video of myself, but it's a live stream.
People were thinking that maybe it's like a conspiracy. We're actually sitting in the same room. You're just slightly to my left.
It's funny because every time I watch, like, because there's so many newer people in Japan, who all have the same kind of stuff, like the same kind of room, and
Right.
and it's always the same. We always comment the same thing, even though like there are so many, like, all the policies are the same.
Can I tell you that I purposely, at least most of the time, I try not to shoot certain angles in my apartment because I don't want them, like, I don't want the overlap to be too much.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because probably nobody gives a shit, right? But
Yeah, people are well aware now, but this is just a quick preview. This is the kind of stuff that I've been learning.
okay, so this guy is serious business.
But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I've been learning at home. Because that, it may look embarrassing. Like, you may not think, like, oh, I can't dance, that's embarrassing. But 1 minute of doing this is like a 3-minute run. It is knackering. So much jumping. So much fun. So, yeah, let's have a...
And I mean,
look
being
at
able to dance is a good thing, right?
What's that, sorry?
I'm just saying, being able to dance is definitely like a worthwhile endeavor, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. And when I've got break times, or last week, maybe you've seen this on TV, maybe somebody's seen this before. Like, J Soul Brothers have a thing where they do this and then do the Running Man, where it's like doing. Maybe you've seen it somewhere before. But I taught a class. I've got a class of 5 girls who are about 7 or 8 years old, and I taught them to do this at the beginning of the lesson. And then we did a game later on where it was like an X on one side and a circle on the other side. And it was like, oh, let's eat nani. Let's eat takoyaki. And then they had to choose like yes or no. And they were dancing to the X and to the 0.
Ah, that's clever.
And for the whole lesson, they were just dancing across the room, which is really cool. Whereas,
That's super clever.
Yeah. I tell you what, after this stream, after we play Smash Bros, I've got a super, super fucking good game because you do a lot of whiteboard stuff, do you, in your classrooms?
Yeah, I do.
I'll teach you. It's only 10:30. We've got a lot of time. I'm gonna tell you now. This is a game and a half.
All right, awesome. Keep this in mind, everybody out there who's trying to get over here to teach. This could be something you could use too.
Yeah, the thing is with English, especially in Eikaiwa work, coming up with new games is like key. If you're not coming up with a new game every week, then you need to. So this game, you take the whiteboard. I'm going to use my own whiteboard this is my practice board for my games that I do practice at home. So, say, because you've got a lot of classes of maybe 3 or 4 kids, haven't you?
I've got, I only have 40 students total, so there are days where I only have 2 or 3 classes. Yeah. So a lot of prep time, yeah.
So say you've got 3 kids. So on this side is going to be Jake Sensei. Jake Sensei is the big boss. So just give him a bit of an angry mouth. And then these are the students. So if anyone plays video games, what does this scenario look like to you?
Looks like you're fighting. Looks like Final Fantasy to me. You're fighting the boss.
Final Fantasy. So what I do from here is the kids take it in turns. So say this is Takahiro. Throw a random name out there. What I've done is I've made these cards. I've not cut them out yet, but I've made these cards. So what I've done is I've combined like a Final Fantasy turn-based RPG with like a card game.
Yeah.
So I'll show you Luigi. This is Luigi, okay? So say if Jake Sensei has 100 health, Luigi does 4 damage. But in return, you have to say 3 words that begin with L. So like lemon, lamp, lion.
Oh right, as to take away the 4 HP.
Yeah. So
nice. Okay.
To do the damage to me, they have to do this. And then the next person goes, oh, they drew Conan. So Conan's special ability from the anime is Case Closed. That's the name of his anime, I think. And they'll heal 1 HP to a teammate for every answer they question in Conan's 15-second interview. So put 15 seconds on the clock. What fruit do you like? What color do you like? Da, 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 da. And then for every question, because we get a lot of breaks, not a lot of breaks, but we have like a 10-minute warm-up and break time.
Sure.
So this game is like fun because they get to they think they're playing an actual game. And because with all the characters, like I've got Naruto, Conan, Donkey Kong, Kirby, Blaziken, or Basho, whatever his name is in Japanese, Iron Man, and then here I've got Hatsune Miku, Kuroko, Mario, which I've not drawn yet. So they get to see all these characters, like, oh, what characters come in next? And then they've got to answer a lot of questions as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really, really, really creative. Somebody should probably give you money for that, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping one day when I make all these cards that someone will just pay me to photocopy.
It's a good idea, man.
Yeah, because coming up with games, I tell you what, because do you teach the same kids every week?
Yeah.
I only teach the kids once a month, and you find after a while things can get stale, especially with young kids. So
yeah, and then they start destroying shit real fast.
It's my only flaw in my life. Well, not my only flaw in my life, but I cannot do art at all. Like drawing is just fucking crap.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you have plenty of other talents, man.
Dancing.
Those look perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, and I kind of find because I always write birthday cards for the kids, and they appreciate my shit art because it's funny, I guess.
Yeah, and that counts for a lot too, for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's a really good idea. So everybody out there, take note of this. You could use that game to show off in an interview when they're asking you for game ideas for something.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna photocopy these original ones and save them. So if I ever do want to do a new job, then I've got that.
Laminate the crap out of them, eh?
Yeah. I'm gonna make a full deck. Well, not like a full deck, because that'll take me forever. But...
I'm doing a game tomorrow. Yeah, are you familiar with Chutes and Ladders?
Oh yeah.
The board game? Yeah, I mean, basically it's a question and answer thing to progress across the board.
Yeah.
But I did something similar where it printed out like a bunch of really small tokens with like Jibanyan from
Yeah.
Yokai Watch, hate to bring it up again, Pikachu, and like a bunch of other things like that. And they have little special abilities like that, but this is much more original.
Yeah.
So I am in awe, sir.
One thing to be definitely aware of if you're an English teacher here is just the media around you. Like, be aware of all these fucking characters. Watch the TV sometimes, because when you came, did everyone say dame or dame?
Dame and Moody
No,
were
there was,
two of the things I heard like a lot.
there was a comedian on TV.
Oh yeah, I saw it during Kohaku.
Oh, I saw
the Dame thing.
It's this woman who just goes dame or dame, and then someone else goes I janai no, and just like if a kid is like misbehaving and you just go dame or, then everyone just bursts out laughing. So like being aware of, like what's on TV, what's popular, what's fun, that gets you so far.
Are you allowed to sneak in little tidbits of Japanese like that?
No, but they say no, but I say yes. But shh. Because a lot of my kids are like, I've got a class which is like 2-year-old kids, so I can't be like, stop doing that, stop doing what you're doing right now, young man. I have to be like, I'm just like, dame, mama ni denwa suru. You have to like use the Japanese sometimes.
Yeah, I've been, yeah. My boss. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for me, talking to the kids in Japanese sometimes, like, I don't talk to them in Japanese during the lesson, but some of them do an extra grammar class, and like I'll talk to them during the break, like sometimes in Japanese, just because if I want to get to know my kids, then I'm gonna get to know my kids, no matter how I do it.
Yeah, I think the thing with having a single school maybe is that I see my manager, and my manager's there all the time, and so like I'm not allowed to speak any Japanese, and she's pretty hard on it. And I have a class of 2-year-olds too, and there are times when I'm like I could just smooth out the way the lesson is going if I could just say one word, right?
Yeah.
But then I have to resort to drawing things in ways like circle, just maru and batsu. If I could just even say that.
Yeah.
It would just be.
Yeah. I do understand how important it is to use English, but if I've got 6 2-year-olds who all need to use the toilet, then I have got no time to be thinking about what language I'm using. Because I think did I make a video about it? Like I was literally holding a girl onto the toilet because she was too small, and then there were other kids trying to come in. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to try and talk to these kids in English and stop them bursting into this toilet.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's a extenuating circumstance, man. I really hope never to have a class of 6 2-year-olds, I gotta tell you.
I love it, to be honest. If I do move away from the Eikaiwa business, then I want, if I'm not doing something else, if I'm in teaching, then I want to work in a kindergarten. Because for me, kids are just awesome. Young kids are just awesome.
I like kids like 10 to 12. That's the age that.
Because
they're still really imaginative, but they're chilled a bit.
Yeah. I just don't like it when they start to, when they just start to get a bit cocky.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and they're like, nani? Like, so me like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like I feel so paternal sometimes when I'm teaching my kids. I guess you have to wear a suit, etc., don't you?
Not so much a suit as like I mean I need to wear a shirt and a tie, but
yeah. Like, for me, I wore this T-shirt when I was teaching today, and I wore a hoodie, but like because it's just me in the classroom with the kids, just me by myself.
Right.
Like, really cool. Like sometimes, like today when I was sending the kids off, this little kid was like, "Kairi takunai," and then like hugged me on the arm. And then the mum was like, oh, the mum looked really happy, and it's just like that kind of stuff I love doing.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's probably why you've been successful.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because
yeah,
I like a couple of months ago, Ryan Boundless, he made a video about how
yeah.
like how teaching in Japan was shit, and he was like, oh, singing and dancing is really like some people just hate singing and dancing.
He
And
referred to himself as a dancing monkey, if I recall, right?
yeah, and I'm just like, oh fucking, you have to make me stop dancing. I tell you what.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you've said it before in your videos, right? I mean, the worst thing you can do is come over here and uh, treat this as a way to get a visa.
Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, we're not. I mean, we are teachers, but we weren't trained for years and years and years like teachers, like the
Yeah,
Japanese
yeah,
schools. We're not teachers like their teachers.
right.
So we're lucky to be given a fucking visa and a job and a life in Japan. So we've got
Yeah,
to, well, I mean, Ryan Boundless obviously seems it as like a burden, but God, I'll dance until the fucking sun goes up. I tell you what.
yeah. I'm with you, and I think too, it's worth pointing out that not it's the rare company I think that tells you that, hey, when you come over here, if you do a shit job, by the way, and students start leaving your school, it's on you. It's on your head.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like the kids. If a kid leaves because of you, the company will know, because they're not just gonna quit and be like, oh yeah, we want to quit. They'll say we want to quit because of this and this and this.
right, exactly, and it is really really hard to get fired here because of the way just sort of the society built around like lifetime workers and stuff like that, right? But at the same time,
And
yeah,
they, yeah.
yeah. I mean, at the same time, if you treat this just like what you do to be here, then I mean that's gonna show, and you can and will get fired. So something to keep in mind. Come over here if you like kids, if you want to teach, and because you want to do something good, I think is
Yeah, and if you don't want to teach kids, there are a lot of adult eikaiwas here. There's if you become an ALT, you don't really have to do so much singing and dancing. If you're working in a high school, anyway, like you
yeah.
don't have to be. If you don't want to work with kids, don't take the job of somebody who does want to work with kids.
Right, true, very true.
Yeah, but yeah, I love working with kids. I love singing. I love dancing. I will like shuffle across the room. I don't mind like I'll like if a kid's giving a presentation, I'll sit there with like my arm around him and then like rub his head, give them a high five, and like the parents notice. Like I don't know how like close yours is with the parents, but for mine, I have to personally send the kids off to the parents at the end of the lesson. Like I have
Uh,
to go to the kids and I have to like show the mums what the kids have done, and then like the kids have to interact with me before they leave. So
yeah, I have to do that when my schedule allows.
yeah,
But I mean, otherwise my manager sort of deals with that.
right,
Um, which is too bad because I mean one of the other things I really enjoy is being able to talk to the parents.
yeah,
Because I mean, that connection is really important for you keeping the student around.
oh, yeah, for sure.
But also, I mean, it's just cool to sort of connect with people and understand what the parents want out of the whole thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I've got a really cool story actually. Like
yeah,
my
please.
school in Izazaki. Um, so your school is in your city.
Yeah, it's like a 10-minute walk for me.
So I don't know how easy it would be for you, but I found out that some of my parents actually own restaurants. So
Ah,
I've actually been to the restaurants of some of my parents, not some of my parents, some of the parents of my kids.
right, right. Yeah.
And like the other day, I went with Ayami, who I've made the videos with. We went to the sushi restaurant of one of my kids. The kids are 8 and 11, and like when I opened the door, the restaurant was empty, and one of the kids was there, and she was like, "Jake Sensei," and I was like, "Oh, hello, hello." And then the mum treated me really well, and what was really cool is because both kids were there.
Right.
Uh, the youngest kid, 8-year-old kid, actually served me the food. Like she actually like outside of work in the restaurant, she like brought me my miso soup, and then she took the lid off, and she was like dozo, and then she like she gave me the check and like asked for me like, oh, that'll be 2,000 yen in English and stuff like that.
Oh,
Really
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't found something like that, unfortunately, but that would be certainly be awesome. But I have found that I really like going to like their to some of my students' sporting events when I know they have them.
Oh, really?
Like
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
like one of my girls is really into running,
Yeah.
and it's not the season for it, but she just ran like a little 5K that was here not too long ago, and that was really cool. And like I had never met the dad before. I only ever saw the mom when she dropped her off. So
Yeah.
that was cool to get that extra level, you know?
Yeah. Like, because you'll have a better chance of this, but I have two schools in my city, so I see my kids everywhere. And because the schools are in different parts, when I go around the city, like not yesterday, the day before, I saw one of my kids in the supermarket, and it was another fucking crazy, like, because her little brother doesn't come to my school, but obviously he he comes with the mum to pick her up. And what happened? I saw them in the supermarket, talked to them, and then I was paying for my stuff, and I saw the little boy walking around outside crying.
Oh
And
no.
then I saw the parent inside looking for the boy, calling out his name. So I was like, oh god. So I ran out and brought the kid back into his mum, which I was able to do a lot easier because I knew whose mum he was.
Right, yeah.
And then the mum was like really thankful. So now next time I see her at the classroom, there'll be a little connection.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing is about relationships, right? I mean at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
indeed.
just like making kids things for the kids and parents to see. This like hangout should have been teaching English in Japan or something. But we'll
Yeah,
get on,
no, it's good.
we'll
It's
get
a good digression, man.
like did you see the profile that I made for my classrooms?
Yeah, I like that idea. I like the question and answer booklet thing you had.
Yeah, just making like little crappy things like that. Like I'm gonna make an Easter in England one soon for when it's Easter time and stuff like that. Just little ways that because I'm only in the classroom once a month. Well, I'm in the classroom 1 week a month, but I'll only see the kids once a month. So
Right, yeah, I
like
got what you're saying.
kids can see me and interact with me when I'm not even in the classroom, which is pretty cool.
My thing is the the special thing I guess I do is at the beginning of every week I choose a character that I draw on the board before every class if it gets erased. Hopefully it doesn't. But so this week is like it's Pooh Bear and then he's saying, you know, let's have fun learning English or like there's Mickey or there's Jibanyan or just different things and now I have kids like putting in requests, right, for next week's thing that they
Yeah,
want to see. So, which is cool that they're taking that interest in it, which is what I was hoping. But one of them wants me to draw Frieza next week from Dragon Ball on him. 'Cause
bloody
he's a
hell.
little more violent than I have been going, but might as well go for it, right?
Yeah. Oh god, drawing for me is just an effort. I just don't do it unless I have to.
Well, you have the dancing. I'll half-ass the drawing, I guess.
The dancing is good. Oh, Kanto
Yes.
Kid. Did Kanto Kid? I'm sure Kanto Fox. Were you at Jess's Christmas party a couple of weeks ago? I'm pretty sure he was. But yeah, that was all I wanted to say.
Fox indeed. Fox
So,
sounds good.
are you enjoying teaching English in Japan?
Yeah. I come home happy. Most
Yeah.
days, you know. I mean, you have those days where just the classes all go to shit or whatever, but
If
yeah.
I'm not yet, but even if a class isn't so well, I will try and force the kids to enjoy it.
Yeah, when it goes to shit, generally, I mean, I'm okay with a lesson like the curriculum going to crap, but I'm not okay with them leaving the class feeling like they never want to come back.
Yeah. That's I think it helps just to like always. You can never. The minute you start to show that it's gone shit, they'll know it's gone shit.
Right.
So always got to put on
That's
a
true.
happy face and dance. Because one thing you do lose pretty quickly is like any sense of embarrassment.
Right. Yeah, actually, one of the hardest things, it's really common for parents to want to stick around and watch through the glass.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things was for me just to be, you know, like as crazy as you need to be,
Yeah.
with a lot of these classes to keep the kids like focused on you and interested in what you're doing. But that's yeah. Once you get past that stage, I feel like things get a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A really awesome job. If you're the kind of
Yeah.
person who wants to do this job, it's a really cool job. Just one more thing before we move on to JLPT stuff. JBoy74 is in the house. JBoy74, I don't know if this is like, I'm sorry if this is too much information, but his husband is one of the directors of the Mass Effect franchise, which is fucking cool.
What?
Because
Amazing.
we've been following each other on Twitter since I started YouTube, and I was like kind of perving on his profile once. And yeah, he's his husband is got some serious stuff.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, Kazuki, if you saw that, please confirm. And if you can confirm, please send me a copy of Mass Effect the trilogy on the PS3. I can't find it anywhere in Japan for some reason.
He just followed me on Twitter, which is awesome. So that's cool.
He's a very cool guy. He's a Japanese man living in Canada. Oh, wait.
In Montreal, looks like?
Yeah, he's also into idol groups as well. He saw Momohiro Clover, I think, live in Montreal, I think.
Nice. Montreal's a beautiful, beautiful place to be. So good on him. Have you been there before, Jake?
I've never been to Canada or America now, although I've always wanted to.
Well, you'll have opportunity once if I get back at some point.
Yeah, it's always someplace. I've been to like Little America when I went to the army base. But yeah, one more thing about that. You don't really see too many gay Japanese people around on the internet. But yeah, he's a really cool guy, and I don't know, he posts a lot of interesting stuff and very different perspective on life as a Japanese person in a good way.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna just make sure that he's the director of Mass Effect. Technical director for Mass Effect.
I'm nerding out on the inside right now because of that actually. But
Morning Musume. Sorry, I got that wrong.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Don't correct me about the idol groups. Get on that Mass Effect trilogy thing.
That's awesome though. I was gonna say, now is he a YouTuber too, or you guys just know each other through Twitter?
I don't think he actually makes YouTube videos. I know he made stuff like Mully's Christmas thing, but what I really like about these hangouts is so a couple of years ago, a woman named Comical Raina, maybe you don't know her, but
I know of her, yeah.
Yeah, she got me into making videos, but like she used to do a live hangout like this every single week, not 2 times a week, and then so he used to watch those and I used to watch those, and then maybe Simon, the 3 old dudes.
Yeah.
They used to watch those, and that's how we all got to know each other. And then like you and Raz, you kind of got to know each other through Hiko's hangout, right?
That's right, yeah.
So
same with Sean and Lacey and a bunch of guys like that.
So it's weird how people can come together, but interesting.
Yeah, I mean this is honestly the best part about YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't expect it, because I mean I've met people, a couple people now through YouTube, which is cool. And I mean I hope to be meeting you and some of the other Jvloggers sooner than later, and it's just awesome to have that ability.
Yeah, it's I got to go to the American Army base through YouTube and stuff like that. Get to participate in things like this and other people's videos. Get motivated to do things like learn Japanese and lose weight through other people that I've seen on YouTube. And to be honest, the reason I wanted to come to Japan is because I watched a lot of Jvloggers. So.
Yeah, man.
Actually, like life in a way.
It's funny you should say that, because I saw it was Bernie's and I think Lisa sometimes, and your tweets about the JLPT today, and I haven't taken it in 2 years, and I have my N4, but I haven't really studied all that hard recently. And yeah, I was so motivated after today. I was like, all right, everybody's better at Japanese than me at this point in my social circles. So
Bernie's been studying for the N1, so she's just gonna she's probably kicked like to the ground, absolute ground.
Yeah, she seems like she's pretty freaking great, is what she seems like. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I just don't know how people can learn it. It just sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other with me. A lot of the times, actually.
I think one of the things we talked about, not last week, but the previous week with when Piggles was on, was how it can be tough as like an Eikaiwa teacher to learn, because your daily life is in English usually.
Yeah.
So you have to be active about it, of course. But actually, I want to ask you before we get too far into this topic. Are you interested in maybe coming back and doing another hangout just on the JLPT? Because I don't want to have to cut it short because of time.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, man.
Yeah, sure. If I'm next week, the next 2 weeks I can't do, but yeah, after that.
We'll hold off on it until you're available. But I just want to give it the time it's due, and we've had a good thing going with the teaching thing anyway. So.
But yeah, if we were going to talk about the JLPT from now, what an absolute segue that would have been. Did you?
Yeah, I know.
It was so smooth, we didn't even notice it.
I know. I ruin everything.
You do ruin everything. You should quit. A quick look at some of the comments.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments, actually. This is proper top stuff. Like, you're quite new, but you've already got, like, I think like 45 minutes before the hangout started, there was like a whole discussion going on here.
Yeah, I think honestly it's because I've been able to connect with, because the community's been so welcoming, with you and Piggles and Hiko and Victor and things like that. It definitely helps. So I should thank you, really, is what I'm trying to say.
No, it's like it is like a cycle. Like it sounds weird, but like Comical Raina, when she was at my level, she got me, like, I didn't get you into YouTubing, but she got me into YouTubing and helped me, and we've been talking, hanging out, tweeting and stuff, like talking online, and then I'm sure once you've got a bigger following, you'll kind of divert those onto newer people and stuff like that. It's like a cycle.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that now as best I can. Because there are a few channels that are smaller than mine, whatever that really means. So I try and help them, but I hope to be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, my advice for anyone on YouTube is just be yourself, and this is going to be something I'm going to tell you. Don't put out all your best stuff too early, because those travel logs are good.
I hope so. Thank you, man. I hope they're okay.
Those travel logs are really well shot, but don't let them go wasted.
Okay. Yeah. I'm hoping. Well, there's a hardware upgrade coming sooner than later, so.
Oh really? I've been in Japan for over a year, and all of my videos are shot on an iPhone. I've been telling myself for a year I'm gonna get a camera and I'm gonna learn how to edit, and I'm pretty sure my editing actually got worse.
It is possible, is what you're saying.
So when I say don't put your best stuff out first, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm keeping all my best stuff under wraps, because it's I've got some really good ideas for some like skit videos, because my ambition is to become an actor, whether it be in Japan or anywhere.
Awesome.
I used to do, when I was all throughout my school years, I used to do plays and shows, and I used to write scripts for plays for like my group. So that's something I've always been really interested in, and I kind of think of myself as like not an out there person, but like talk quite a lot, and stuff like that. So I kind of like that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, yeah. You should do it, man.
What was the sentence that came before what I just said?
You were talking about how you were. Oh yeah. Don't put your best stuff out too soon, and then you were talking about skits and how you were writing and how you wanted to act and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I've got some like amazing skits planned out, but I could translate the Japanese. I could translate everything I wanted to do in the Japanese and do it now, and it wouldn't really have quite that effect. Or I could make my Japanese a lot better, get a better look about it, and then absolutely kill it with a skit, because they are some really cool skits.
Yeah, man, bide your time.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Obviously, I need a better camera, and I need to learn how to edit.
If you need any bodies, by which I mean,
Travis Moore has hit the nail on the head. Jake's trying to bring down our expectations so we can blow our minds. That's since I've started YouTube, that is exactly what I've been going for.
It's the way to go. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, if you're looking for bodies to be in your skits, man, I too am a reformed, rehabilitated former actor slash mostly musical theater, but yeah, I'd be more than willing if you're looking for people at some point.
Yeah, well, musical theater is probably one of the best things, because, like, I'm not looking for, because I used to do theater as well. Like, I'm not looking for like a camera actor. It's like I want an over the top performance, which is what like theater is about, really, isn't it?
Right, that's very true.
But yeah, I'll tell you about some of these skits later, as long as you don't steal them.
No, I do write, but I'm more of like a written word than performance art type thing. So all yours, man.
So yeah, that's I'm quite looking forward to getting those done. Yeah,
It's the gold in your back pocket, man.
hopefully trying to, I don't know, because I'm so bad at YouTube. Like, I have so much free time, and yet I just can't find the time to reply to my own fucking comments.
I mean, it seems to be you're doing okay though, you know. But yeah, you bastard. I definitely commented on that bulletin board thing you were talking about with the question and answer thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then you had the nerve to ask if I watched it.
Because actually, the whole thing about not replying to comments on YouTube is something that the comments on my videos are mostly nice, but if you watch comments on like the big videos on YouTube, it's all horrible stuff. And I don't know, I kind of like got too afraid to comment on anything after that. Like, if you've ever watched Rooster Teeth, all the comments are like, oh, this person's stupid, this person should die, this person should just quit their job. It's like, oh my god. Sometimes I just want to cry and just like quit watching.
Yeah, there's a lot of evil people out there, man. Or evil's probably too strong a word, but a lot of people who are emboldened by the anonymity that should probably just shut up. But such is the way of things.
Yeah, like someone wrote on like one of my videos with Ayami, like, you horse-toothed bastard. It's like, what like went through your head to make you write that? Like, what was his thought process? Like, oh, sure, maybe my teeth aren't perfect. Oh, they are pretty good. So I don't know where the
Your teeth look fine. Fuck that guy. Sorry.
It's like, what made him think to write "you horse-toothed bastard" and click post? I don't understand what is. I just don't understand what the thought process was.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly think that probably the best way to live is, who was it? Yates said something to the effect of like, never say anything that doesn't improve on silence. So
Yeah.
if the only thing what you're gonna say is gonna do is piss off people, or like significantly drop the IQ of everybody who has to listen to you, probably you should just not say it, whether that's behind a keyboard or otherwise. But it's just me.
Like, those dudes Jericho does say, although it doesn't really apply to us at this stage, but negative or positive comments help the video so you get YouTube money. Which, I guess.
What's YouTube money? But yeah, right. Yeah. But no, and that's a fair enough point there, dude. But yeah.
I'm not given to the
bastards. But anyway, I guess we will wrap it up there. If there are any questions from you guys in the comments.
Have you got your DS with you? I think we should get a post.
I do. I'm all for that. But yeah, guys, I'd like to thank Jake for coming on and giving us some really great insight on weight loss, and also on teaching. I'm gonna steal that game. I'm gonna steal it so hard. And yeah, and thank you for coming back in a couple weeks here to talk about the JLPT. It's gonna be great.
The comments keep going after this is finished. I want to make sure Raz and Sean, bro,
They'll
are tuned into Smash Bros before this finishes.
Yeah, the comments will keep going until somebody refreshes them, or for like a set amount of time, something like that. But then they will sort of disappear. But yeah, dude, that's very true about the rational, well-intentioned human beings. But yeah, no, we'll get him.
Cool.
But yeah, guys. So Jake will be back in a couple weeks to talk about the JLPT. Next week I am gonna have a stream again. And I actually want to do like an open mic night type of thing. So anybody, I get a Japanese boyfriend, Mandy. That joke is hilarious. Sorry. But next week we are gonna do an open mic night thing. So if you want to come, you want to ask any questions, you want to tell stories, whatever you want to do, feel free to pop in, invite your friends, whatever. And also related to that, if there are topics that you actually want to set before we do an open floor thing, let me know about those too. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and tag that on Twitter if you want to send me things with Captain which is a joke we can bring back from a while back. But anyway, thanks again, Jake, for joining. It was really good having you on.
One quick piece of stuff I want to say. It's a question.
Yes.
I know the whole thing about getting a Japanese boyfriend is a joke, but and I've made some very homoerotic comments, but do you not just find yourself getting attracted to Japanese men? Not in not in a way you love them, but I tell you what, they're so well groomed, and some of them are just so good looking. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I will share a story with you that I think I actually told Victor the first time I was around Victor's open mic night thing, and that was when I was at a bar in Nagoya. And I started flirting sort of very heavily with what I thought was a very attractive lady, and it turns out it was a guy in Visual K.
Oh, really?
And so that ought to answer your question right there. I mean, there are some pretty Japanese men, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
There is. Oh God, I tell you what. You know when girls just like, oh, kakkoi. He's half Spanish, half Japanese, called Shirota Yu, but every time I see him on GTO, I tell you what, I just start shivering.
We are down the rabbit hole.
Wait, Shirota Yu. I'm gonna write 2 names in the chat, and everyone should just go and check them out right now. Oh my God! Just look at him. I'm gonna write it here first. I want you to look at him first, and then I want to see you react.
All right. Right, here we go.
It's half Spanish.
Oh yeah, I know this guy.
God, I tell you what, I would just let him do anything.
Bernie. Yeah, Bernie, that's I mean, to be fair, it's not like I go around telling that story to anyone who will listen.
I would. You should make a video about it, like when I did that Ladyboy video.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's not a bad idea. And Yusuke, yeah, this guy too, for sure.
Yusuke, yeah. Oh God, I've watched almost every drama. I've rented the stuff at Stuymas now, because I've rented almost every drama he's been in. So.
I actually, my Japanese man crush, so to speak, is Nagase Tomoya. From, I first saw him on Ikebukuro Westgate Park, and then he was in like Tiger and Dragon and a bunch of dramas. He's from the group Tokyo.
He's also the main character in the drama called My Boss, My Hero, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Where he's like a Yankee boss and a Yakuza boss, and he has to go back to high school.
Right. Yeah, and the theme song Sorafune, he's the singer actually for that song.
Oh, really?
For that group Tokyo, yeah. So he's my Japanese man crush. Yep.
He was my inspiration for trying to learn Yakuza Japanese, like Konoyada or fuck.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Because I watched My Boss, My Hero, and that was a really funny drama, I thought. So.
Did he inspire you to go get some sweet back tattoos? And eat lots of pudding?
Not yet. No, the pudding.
Give it time.
Japanese dramas are so stupid, but it's just so funny to watch. You're in High School live action show. That's a really good drama. That was one of the first Japanese dramas I ever watched, actually.
Haven't seen that.
It's a really. You wouldn't think it was for our demographic. It's about like a high school host club, and there's like a girl who's joined, who they think is a boy. Based on an anime. Based on a manga, which was based on an anime, or the other way around.
One of those old things.
So,
all right,
yeah.
we're getting approval, Fred.
To end it on that note.
Yes.
If anyone play Smash Bros.
Yeah, we're gonna play Smash Bros in the after hangout. So if anybody feels like that on their DS, but yeah, guys. Thanks to Jake for making it weird here at the end. Not really weird. It was an interesting digression, but
about learning more stuff about Japan.
That's right, and about each other, and we're all growing closer as friends.
Yeah, well, some of us are further apart.
Very true, very true. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. So thank you all as always for watching, and we'll see you very soon indeed. Cheers.
See you.